Alright, hello and welcome to the eVenture family channel. If it's your first time here, please do subscribe. And if you find this video useful and helpful, please do hit that like button, as it helps support us quite a bit and helps others find us. It helps me keep making videos like this. So you're coming along with me here in our Rivian R1S here at the Tesla Supercharger in Springfield, New Jersey. And today we are going to be checking out one of the great third-party adapters available, one of only 2 third-party adapters and one of only 3 adapters in total if you include the official Tesla adapter that we're still not aware of exactly when we're going to get here with our Rivian. So between this and the A to Z adapter that we've got here, these are basically your 2 third-party options for an adapter that you can get if you don't want to sit and wait for Tesla and Rivian to ship you one. So we're going to check this out, so come along with me and let's charge on up.
That's right.
Alright, so far we have absolutely loved having this open access now to the Tesla Supercharging Network. It has been a great, I wouldn't say necessarily lifesaver, but given us a lot more options on trips and made things much more easy and convenient for us, especially like on some more dire stretches of roads where there aren't as many other charging networks available. So it has been awesome to have this and just to have the extra optionality and flexibility with it. And we've really been enjoying this adapter from A to Z that we've had so far. It's been great, but it is great now to have this additional option from Lectron, so I want to compare and contrast them a little bit. So overall, you see a little bit of a difference in size here. Overall, like weight, to me feels almost exactly the same. Neither one is super light, but it's got a nice, like, heavy, solid feeling construction that makes you feel a little bit better about using them. Both of them have pretty similar latches here on the top. I would say this Lectron one it's a little bit easier to like one thumb here, and the latch itself, while I think they're both plastic, this one could be metal. Feels pretty nice to me, and definitely seems to be well made. And then on the inside here, got pretty much the same things. You can see there's no actual like connections in the AC part here other than the communication pins. The Lectron one doesn't even have like these 2 guide pins, but down here is our DC fast charging one. So that is good. And then other big difference here is on the A to Z one, you can see down here we have this manual lock that you have to engage on the NACS side of the connector, whereas on the Lectron one here we have this lever that you can press, and it is very tightly sprung there. Alright, so let's test this out first. We should get like exactly the same speeds between these. There's no real difference there. They've got the same type of temperature control, and they should shut things off if it gets too hot. But these are basically dumb connectors, and from a charging perspective, it shouldn't make any difference at all. The charger here doesn't actually know anything about these differences and or like which charger you're using. There's no way for it to know the difference between the A to Z one and the Lectron one, or even the official one, so all of these work just the same. So let's see if we can latch a little bit better with this one than we have found with the A to Z one. Yeah, a little bit tight here. There we go. Okay, so if you lift the latch up, that helps a little bit. All right, and actually, I'm doing this the wrong way. So the recommended way that they have said for these is that, oh man, yeah, so this is one of the things. These have been said to be quite tight in the latching here. And actually people have had problems with getting these on and off. Okay, not too bad. That one actually doesn't feel too bad. I had no like real problem getting that off. Now interestingly, I don't know if this charger works. There's only 1 pin here, 1 guide pin. We'll find out. So this is recommended to actually put the adapter in first. This is the only adapter I've ever seen recommended to be used this way, but Lectron specifically says this. So we should put that in first. And then the NACS side here. Now and then that's pretty tight, so I had to push the latch a little bit there. Now with Rivian on Tesla, this is just plug-in charge compatible, so it should just start going by itself here. All right, now one of the important things to talk about with this is, of course, there's no getting around it. There were some issues initially in the first batch of these from Lectron. Now, I've worked with Lectron for a while now. I've used a bunch of their AC adapters and even some of their charging stuff before. And I've never had any problem with it at all. I've always found it to be super well made and really well quality controlled. But they have been in the press because some of these adapters, like one batch of them coming from their contract contract supplier had an issue in manufacturing where the latching pin here that connects the NACS cable into the adapter and holds it firm in there was not made to specification, and the pin was actually not long enough, and so you could just yank on this and pull it out, which is incredibly dangerous because if you have like a live connection there, you could basically get arc flashes, and that is incredibly dangerous and could even be fatal. In my opinion, Lectron did a great job of addressing this. They were very communicative about it. They took care of all the customers that were affected very quickly, and they've gotten new ones out to everybody. These, like I said, it was only one batch of them, so most that are out there have been fine. And then this batch itself has been, verified to be fine too. And so no real concerns with that. But like I said, I think because of that maybe, or maybe it's separate, but there's a fairly tight fit in there. And so some owners have been reporting that they're having a little bit of an issue with like the tightness of the fit and being able to get the cable back off of there. And I can feel this one is tight, but definitely seems to be totally fine. So no problems there. All right, so we're still having an issue with charging here, and I'm gonna try this again. Okay, now we're going. Maybe I just didn't have it all the way in before. Now we are charging, and it is going great. Perfect. One other thing to talk about with these third-party adapters is basically everyone so far that is involved in this transition from Tesla to Ford to Rivian have come out and said that they do not support the use of third-party chargers on their networks, and they don't want you using them basically. Now, to me, I think that this is more of a precautionary thing where we know that as more and more vehicles are enabled with supercharging access, right now it's pretty small between Ford and Rivian, but we should be getting GM quite soon, like could be a matter of weeks or a month at the most. But as that starts opening up more and more, we expect that basically the market is going to get flooded with super cheap adapters, especially coming out of China. I'm sure you'll be able to find a ton of them for really low prices, but the quality of those will be quite low, and they can be super dangerous. There's a big difference between AC charging adapters, where the safety is still definitely important, but it is not quite as potentially dangerous as these and these DC fast charging ones. And so I think they just want to, basically cover themselves and make sure that there is not going to be damage to their charging network or to vehicles or to individuals using them from all of these cheap ones out there. Now, I know that both A to Z and Lectron have been working on getting UL certification for this. There is no official process for that yet, but both companies have been working along with the UL certification body to enable that and to define the process so that they can get there. And like I said, I trust both of these companies. I've talked to multiple representatives from both, including the CEO of A to Z and several representatives at Lectron. And things that they're telling me are all very reassuring about the way that these are being manufactured, designed, verified, and how they're working with these certification bodies to make sure this is safe and that they will potentially be able to get certification. And I would expect at that point, I don't see why Tesla and Rivian would not say that they allow the use of any UL certified adapter at that point. There's really no reason not to. There's not a big difference between the ones that are coming officially out of Tesla and not. So, I wouldn't officially recommend it at this point just because without that, you're kind of using it at your own peril. But, as you can see here, I'm fine with using it. We've been using these adapters for a bunch of time now on our road trips, and it has been totally fine and no concerns at all from us. So make your own choices. If you're interested, I have codes and links to both the A to Z and the Lectron one down in the description below, and make sure to use that because it will not only help save you some money, but will help support the channel as well and help me continue to bring content like this out there to you. All right, and let's just see here. So we're already at 70%. I was talking too long there, but we're still at 118 kilowatts here. And the awesome thing is this shows us exactly how much is being charged. So we're at $5 now. Awesome, so I'm gonna stop charging here. And especially with an adapter like this, I would recommend hitting the stop charging button here in the vehicle rather than just pulling adapters and stuff out. And can I do that again? Oh, complete. Okay, we hit the limit, so we're already done. I don't even need to do that. Awesome. All right, so we are done. We should be able to just pull out. So basically we want to do this in reverse now. So first push the button on here to tell the charger we're done. Now I'm going to push the latch underneath here, and I should just be able to take that off there. Wiggle it off. And now to detach this, I just need to make sure that latch is all the way pushed. It might be a little bit easier from the underside here. yeah, like I said, this is very secure, so there you go. Just have to make sure to get all the way like leveraged on there. That latch is definitely tighter than this one up here, which is probably a good thing, so that it is nice and safe. So there we go, easy peasy. All right, now that we're back here, I just wanted to demonstrate the proper technique for this because it was so hot at the supercharger, and I also didn't want to hold people up while I was kind of figuring it out. So the recommended way here is actually that the adapter would go in first. Click that in, and then you put in the NACS cable separately here. You push up on the latch a little bit just to make sure it's in, and then it should go like that. All right, and then to remove, basically same in reverse, so you gotta make sure you really squeeze the latch tough there, and then that'll pop right out. Then this other part, latch on the top, and that'll do it. Hopefully my microphone is working okay, and sorry about the leaf blowing noises, but it is suburban New Jersey, and it is impossible to get away from them. I've been waiting an hour for it to die down, and nope. All right, and speaking of heat, one thing I noticed was that this did not really get hot at all, at least not to the touch, from supercharging even in the baking sun. It is nearly 100 degrees here in New Jersey today, and this was still relatively cool to the touch, or at least like room temperature, I would say, you know, from being used there. And even though it's like black and would absorb more of the sun, didn't really feel like it was getting all that hot. So this is definitely good at dissipating heat. All right, and just talking about some of the specifications here. So this can go up to a rated current of 500 amps, supports up to 1,000 volts. It is IP67 weather resistant. So that means a rating of 6 for dust and solids and 7 for water. 8 is the highest, which would be like fully submersible. This though is, at least with a 7, you're not gonna have to worry at all about like using this in the rain or anything like that. And it can operate between negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit and 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually pushing close to that with the heat here today, but no issues at all, and we didn't derate even at all that I could tell. But we didn't really push it too much because the car wasn't at that low state of a charge. Yeah, and weighs 2.1 pounds. All right, now, and I also just wanted to feature this, which is another great item from Lectron, basically the opposite. This is a CCS to NACS adapter that we use with our Tesla Model Y all the time, especially like when there are CCS chargers and not Tesla ones available. So this is great to have in the trunk as well, and I've been using this now for I think 2 years, and no issues at all. It's held up super fine, which is why I have always felt good about recommending Lectron products. All right, so there we go. Great charging experience, and kind of as is always the case here at Tesla, just everything just works. You just plug in and it starts going, and everything's taken care of on the back end. Love it. This is why this has been so long awaited and why we've been so excited for this. So again, it could still be, even with our Rivian here, they're going by basically order number or like order date from when you took delivery. So we got ours about 6 months ago, so I know we're very low on the list. We've already requested our official adapter, but I expect it's still going to be several months, if not almost like till the end of the year before we get it. So if you are in a similar position and don't want to wait, or maybe you're a GM customer and you already have to pay some money to get an adapter anyway, you might as well get ahead and get one now, or maybe you just want to have multiple options and backups. So these are great options for that, and especially with the codes that I've got, this will actually end up being a little bit cheaper than if you were to buy the first party one also. So highly recommended for that. All right, well, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of these third-party adapters? Should we be allowing these or not? What do you think of the difference in the design between the A to Z and the Lectron one here? Which one would you get? And if you've got any questions about how you actually use these or any of the safety and electric precautions or anything with these, definitely let me know as well. With that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you out there for another electric adventure soon.